Hiya friends! Today we're going to do a step-by-step Let's Draw. You should be able to draw along on any drawing program or even with traditional media. I'm using Photoshop, but I'll refrain from making adjustments and stuff through the specialized tools. But I do have a tutorial coming up soon of start to finish how I draw in Photoshop, so if you're more interested in that, then that's coming in the future. Okay, let's get started. So I start with guidelines. I go pretty simple on how I do my guidelines, just kind of to help me with the placement of the facial features. If you're a super newbie beginner, you might want to look up some more detailed guidelines, but I think these will get us through for today. Okay, we're going to start with a circle, and this will kind of represent the cranium area. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to make it kind of even. And then I like to draw a line down the circle to represent the middle of the face. I'm going to have the face looking a little over to the side, so I'm going to draw a little bit over to the side like this. And then I draw an eye line, so I think of it. It actually usually goes right above where I draw my lines. And I draw it somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of the way down. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm just going to draw in the shape of the jaw without being too precise about it, the face shape if you will. But what I usually do is I draw the line down to about the bottom of the circle for where her jaw is on both sides. And then I draw a line inwards towards the line, and you have to kind of make your own choice on how long you want your face to be, depending on your style and stuff. And I'll just mark where that jawline I was talking about is on that side. And then you do about the same on the other side. So I draw the jawline, and then the line underneath it is a little bit sharper as it goes in. But you can see that's the general face shape. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I'm just going to kind of shape the chin a little bit here, just to kind of finish off the visualization in my mind on how it's supposed to go. Starting right about where that jaw is, I'm going to draw the first line down. And then underneath the chin area, kind of a little bit further in, not right where the chin is, I'm going to draw the second line, and that'll be her neck. Now I'm going to draw some shoulder guidelines. These are just going to be real simple. Just going to draw a horizontal line to show where about like the collarbone would be. And then I draw a circle on each area where about her shoulders would be. And then you can kind of shape in where the dip of the shoulder would go, followed by going over the ball of the arm. Again, don't worry about it being super precise. We're just shaping it in for now. And just to help us out a little bit, I'm going to put the center of her chest line down, just like that. I have it kind of go out in a little bit of a curve, so she's not just so straight and tall and stiff. Alright, now we're just going to work on shaping our shoulders a little bit more, and shaping kind of where her chest area would be. I'm just kind of marking them in. We're mostly going to work on the face today, but I did want to show off, you know, kind of where they would be. And then let's zoom in and we'll start on the face. I usually like to start with the top of my eyes and just kind of mark in where they're going to be. Keep in mind when you mark in your eyes, like I said before, I'm going to draw my eyes under that guideline that I made. And I also like to try to mark them in about an eye length apart from each other. And since she's a girl, I'm going to draw some eyelashes, just kind of a pointed look right at the corner of her eyes. And then I draw like a little one right before the final corner eye to represent the eyelashes. And then I fill in the corner of the eye. And that is the top of my eye. We'll mark in the nose on the center of the line face, kind of where it crosses with the circle. As you can see, mine didn't line up perfectly. Put it where you think it looks about right for a nose. And then I'm going to mark in where the mouth goes to, just a straight line. And you just kind of look at that. Does that look right or not? To make this look a little easier, I'm going to erase some of these guidelines. And then I'm going to mark just a little curved line for the nostril. And then I like to just add a little tiny dash right above where the point of the nose might be. Okay, now we're going to draw a curved line under each eye just to kind of finish off their shapes. I'm going to fix this eye on the left, the viewer's left. Just shape it a little bit more because it seems a little bit too small. I'm just going to kind of work on that until it looks a little bit right. Because there's a little bit of perspective, it's okay if it's just a tiny bit shorter, but you want them to match up pretty well. Okay, now we're going to refine the face shape. So starting with the area by the side of her eye, it's going to dip in just a little bit, and then we're going to have it go back out where the cheek is, follow a little bit of a curved line there, and I'm just kind of drawing until I kind of get the feel for it. There's a tiny bit of a dip in kind of by where the mouth goes, depending on your style, and then we'll meet up down at the chin. And that should do me well enough. I'll just erase these little guidelines so we can see the shape better. Okay, we'll erase this guideline here. We don't need it. And we'll continue up. I'm going to make her jaw just a little bit sharper by changing the angle of that line just a tiny bit. We'll go with that. Let's go back up. I want to add the bridge of her nose, and it's just a little curved line on the side of her eye there. Then I'm going to erase some more guidelines. I'm going to reshape her mouth how I like it. I want to draw a little bowed lip, so I'm going to put a little bit of a down swooping line in the middle, and then just kind of refine how I want these lines to look. We'll give her a bit of a smile, so we'll curve them upwards. Then I like to add a little slash at the top for the Cupid's bow and a little curved line at the bottom for the bottom of the lip. In fact, let's give her even more of a smile. Let's draw in just a tiny bit of teeth in the middle there, just in that shape there. And I'm just gonna move this lip down a bit because I did that. Okay, so I'm gonna refine her jaw just a little bit more, even that out since I had established the chin a little bit higher up. Let's go back up to the eyes, and I'm just going to draw in 2 semicircles into the eye area where the eyes are. Just like that. And then above her eyes, we're going to put 2 little dashes, and that kind of represents the wrinkle of the eye, depending on the eye style you want. You don't have to draw that. I just like it. And then we're going to draw her eyebrows, and I just kind of fit it a little bit at the corner of her eye to a little bit past the edge of her eye, and then double the line. And we're going to do the same thing on here, more or less. Have it kind of fit right above where that bridge of the nose is, and go off to the side there. I'm just going to keep erasing these guidelines as they're in my way. Okay, and then the next feature we're going to do is the ear. It starts at about the top of the eyes, and then it goes down to about where the bottom of the nose is. Yes, a line like that, and then you can adjust it if you want it to be bigger or smaller or whatever. I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll come over and reshape her forehead because your head is not that round. So I'm just going to have it go up a little bit. And yeah, let's zoom out and take a look. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna reshape the neck just a little bit, something I see that I want to fix. You're gonna kind of learn the more you draw things that you think, maybe I want it more like this or this or this. And it'll start coming to you in time. And then let's get started on her hair. Now, depending on the hairstyle, I often will draw hair in like triangular chunks. And you can refine them from there and make them a little bit more small or big or whatever. But we're gonna just start by drawing the shape of it in, but only one side of the triangular chunks too. What I mean by that is I'm going to put a line here, down over her eye, another one here, another one here, and let's have it actually go down along her neck. Another one over here, and then another one maybe like this over by the side of her face. And that is her bangs. We'll go in, like I said, later and kind of draw the other half of the lines in a bit. And then I'm just going to draw a little curve where her hair might end there. I'm going to draw a strand of hair over by her chin down here, just trying to get the shape of how I want the hair to look. And then why don't we have her have like a short haircut that's kind of ballooning out. So we'll give her a line like this, and then we'll just kind of shape her hair over on this side, kind of going with the cranium line, but since it's the back of her head, it's going to go out a little bit further, and we'll do something like this. And then you can kind of refine the shape. Maybe I want to bring it in, maybe I want to bring it up. Let's just kind of keep working on these until we get the hair shape that we like, the hairstyle that we like. And yeah, that'll work. We'll come back to that. Sometimes it's good to kind of come back to things as you're going, and then you might see mistakes that you didn't see right away because you were too focused on them. So in the meantime, let's draw her outfit. I'm not sure what to do for her outfit. Let's give her a collar to start with. Just something that looks maybe like this on this side. And then on the other side, draw it in like this. Just something like a stiff collar that's going around her neck, like this. And then I'm just gonna work on kind of shaping her area down here, her shoulder and her chest area. Let's erase some guidelines, see how it's looking. That looks okay. Let's add a little line here at her armpit. Looks like the fabric is bunching, and we can add a couple wrinkles down like right underneath her collar like that. Erase some more guidelines over here. and just kind of reshape it. And I'm going to move that out just a tiny bit, and I'll give the same bunched wrinkle at the armpit over here. Okay, I'm going to add like a little bump or stitch in the fabric over here by her shoulder so we can draw a line coming in like that's where the stitching is bunched. I wonder if I want like a little line on the collar. I'll sketch it in. Maybe I will use this, maybe I won't. I'll decide when I'm actually inking it. Sometimes it's good to just sketch something out, and then if you don't like it in the final, you can leave it off when you're inking it or change it. And maybe we'll add like a little jewel or something at the very base of the collar. Just a round thing. I'll make my mind up later. And you know what? I think her shoulders might be just a tiny bit narrow. I'm going to draw it out on this side. I'm just going to go over the lines that I've already done just to lengthen it out just a little bit and give her a little bit more of a proportional shoulder. Something like that will look good. All right, now that we've had our little break from our hair, we're gonna go back to it now. I'm gonna erase a couple of these lines here as I kind of figure this out. Let's have it indent a little bit up here by her forehead, and then I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna add like a little piece of hair sticking out, and I'll add one going down there a little bit. I'll finish these chunks off, kind of draw them in their shapes. Draw down and up and down and up, and just make these, this is what I was talking about, those like triangular chunky bits. And then going back to her bangs, I'm going to make some triangular chunky bits up here. Draw this line's chunking, something like that. That'll be fine. And then a big one here. We'll draw it up and down and up. And then we'll draw this one over here. Draw this one going into this other line here. Then draw this one coming down and up. And then we'll draw this little piece that's sticking down here a little bit more. Shape it up like that. Erase the bits that we don't want. Maybe we'll have this covering the ear just a little bit. So I'll draw it out a bit more here and erase the ear. Yeah, that's looking okay. Let's draw another little bit of hair coming off by the cheek area here. Give it a little bit something over here. Kind of match the one that we've drawn over here, and I'm going to erase this one to match the size a little bit better. And then we'll detail the ear. It's half covered, but we have a little bit of a curve up at the top, and then we have like the ear hole in the middle, and maybe just draw another little line up there for the whirly bit. And then we just have a little bit of hair down here. We're going to do the triangular shapes. Go up and down a couple times like so. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. She looks pretty plain though. Let's add something like above her ear. Maybe like 3 flowers or something. I'll draw the centers of them. Draw the petals around this one. I just kind of do like a rounded bit at the bottom and then some pointy bits at the top. But I don't know about 3. Maybe I'm gonna erase those. I don't like the look of that. Let's just go around this one area with the one flower and see how we like this. Put these petals in here like so. And reestablish where that center bit is. Maybe draw a leaf up above it. Just a couple leaves like that. Maybe some long stems down here. Let's add a couple more petals, like maybe there's flower underneath that's been stacked on top by that first flower or something like that. I don't know. I think I'm picking at this too much. I'm going to leave it as it is and make my final decision as I ink it. Maybe I'll put those in there. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I don't want to overcomplicate this. I think I'll just draw one flower in for the final in the inking, and I'll show you what I do in a minute. I'm going to ink it off screen because I do something weird with the pen tool when I'm inking it, but if you're inking it in your program, I would suggest making another layer, your line layer, and just carefully going over your lines. If you can play with the opacity of your sketch layer, you can make it a little bit lighter. It'll make it a bit easier. Otherwise, hopefully your sketch isn't too dark and you can just go over it with your inking. And yeah, I'll meet you back here once I've done my final inking. And here we go. There is my line art all done. I'll go ahead and show it to you with the sketch layer. It's about the same. I kind of inched up this line a little bit and I fixed the flower so it looked a little bit nicer. So yeah, there's our drawing done. I'll show you in a second how I would finish it off with coloring, but however you want to color it, however you want to finish it off, it's up to you. And if you want to know how I do the final part where I colored in. I'll have some tutorials coming out soon. So first, behind my line layer, I put the base colors. These are the ones I chose for that. And then on top of that, I put some shading colors, some shades in her hair, a little bit on her skin, a little bit under her chin, and some on her outfit, that kind of stuff. And then I do what I call like a little bit more softer advanced shading, where I take a bit more soft shadows to her hair and to her skin and everything else. And then I add a blush to her face, give her a little bit more life, and I add the lip color. And then I add kind of like some medium level highlights where I add a little bit of glow. The side of her face, I gave her a little bit of an edge light and a little bit more on one side of her hair than the other. And then I like to color my line arts, just a little extra thing I like to do. And then to finish it off, give it a little bit of a highlight in the eyes and on the lips and stuff. And you can give her like an aura or something behind her. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions or anything in the comment section below. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.